Most people want more in life, more success, more money. Respect is more than the world, but there is what they do not understand. You do not collect what you wish you collect, what you sow, and then what are you sowing in your mind? The mind is not a passive place where things just happening in this field so that you are not planted there, it will grow like you. Is it or not if the excuse grows borders? Yes! If you sow complaints, grow suffering. But if you sow discipline, the force will grow now. Truth that the majority does not want to hear you. You can have a weak mind and expect a strong life. You cannot succumb to everyone. Garbage thought that passes through your head and expect that you will become. It does not work invincible. If your mind, this is a river where it is tet to the medicon, doubts and fear or control, clarity and determination, because this river carries everything that you are, and if you are not, you will learn to manage it. She will take you where you never wanted to be today. We will talk about how to fork a strong mind is not with the help of beautiful phrases, not the help of an empty theory, with the drain of real principles with cops that you can apply every day, because strong mind is not a gift. This is construction, and if you are not ready to build it, then do not complain. To what you collect. 1. If your mind is a river, make sure that she flows where you are. Do you want your mind never stand still? This is not a lake, is not a puddle, is constantly the moving river, and this river can bring you to success or destruction, depending on where it is tet. But here's the problem: most not even realize that they are afloat. You wake up and the first thing you do, check the phone, absorbs useless news, or lost on social networks with. The first moment of the day, your river is already flowing in the wrong direction. Then you feel the alarm, do not move forward, everything seems outside your control. This just, if you don't choose consciously. Where is your mind going to do someone else? This is your environment for you with which you are talking about. Content which you consume, the thoughts you are, give space determines all this. The direction of your river, and if you do not control, you will find yourself in the place where everyone never wanted to be. The action that you repeat each, which you allow in your head, every feeling that you nourishes his river to be polluted by everyone that they surround them, allow their energy. Exhausts his mind on alt and allow to captivate themselves, and when they realize that we're trapped in meditative frustration or powerlessness, is not too late. The river is not changes his course just so necessary to form. You need to lay new. The paths need to make her move in the right direction, and this is not done with the help of good intentions. This is done with the mumps of action, your mind with valuable information by ideas who push you to improve thoughts that strengthen your character. Your river goes to growth. But if every day you fill it distracting negativeness and mental garbage, the same river will lead you directly to medio. Is not a question of good luck or talent, is a matter of focusing where you guide your attention, and your life will go. And if there is no control over his mind, there will be someone else. Social company, media networks, external noise are all fighting for your attention because they know that the one who controls the ma's controls them, decisions, their money, and their future. Therefore, the key to success is to stop the flow. All that pollutes your mind and open the path only that strengthens it. Consciously choose that you will require that. You allow in your life what ideas you decide to accept. You cannot control the world, but you can control what you allow you to enter your head, and this is the difference between to be a passionate course or be those who direct him. If you let your mind flow without control, you will find yourself in places where Nico Netabi took control. You will bring it for sure where you want to go, the river without directions. Simply follow the current, and the current in this world leads to Medico. Every day you have the opportunity, or you decide to direct your mind in the right place, or allow everything the external to do it for you, the middle, or you take control, or your thoughts control. This is the seeds decide that you will harvest each. The thought that you allow in your mind, this is the seed that you planted early or late. It will grow up unimportant whether it was fleeting a thought or something over what you each of them spun all day. Strengthens the roots and starts to take the form in your life if you fill your mind with fear that you expect to harvest. You are not. You can expect confidence when you sowed this uncertainty, you cannot Expect discipline when everything that you sowed. This procrastination, you cannot expect success if everything that you sowed is justification in order not. To move here is the trick of the majority. Not even a sowing, they sow them. Think the head does not matter what is simple thoughts without consequences, but thoughts are not neutral. They either strengthen you or they weaken, or bring you closer to where you want to be or move. No middle problem is that most people grew rotten mental soil, full weeds. The negativeness of fear of doubts. And then they are wondering why their life, why do they feel that they got stuck in the same cycle? Why nothing? The answer is changing in the fact that they sowed every day. The farmer knows what if he wants a good crop. He must prepare the earth, choose the best seeds, and protect your crop from pests. The same applies to your mind. If you want different results, you must tear out from core who do not serve you, to stop feeding what weakens you and start planting what strengthens you. Means that you can't afford to think how weak if you want to be strong. If you don't, you can allow the thoughts of sacrifice if you want to be invincible. You can't spend the day complaining about what you have not if you want to build something great. Allow you to grow without control as a seed which sooner or later will become part your reality. If you are constantly you think that you are insufficient, that you are not, you can, that life is unfair, then you grows the mentality of failure, and the worse that when it comes time to harvest. You can't do anything to change this because what is growing? This is what you sowed the point, so every time thought enters your mind, think of it in doubt. Ask yourself, does this deserve a seed of your place on your plot? If not, tear it off immediately. Water him. Do not feed him. Don't let him take the roots, because when you do it become part of you, and it will be much more difficult to change later. The strongest people are not those who have never are. Weak those who do not allow them to grow. Those who are not allows negative seeds turn into a tree that takes from their light, space, and energy are those who carefully chooses what to plant and what to tear out with the root. If you want strong life, if you want to collect discipline success, crop ichne from sowing this and see. Magic as a failure is the result of everyone the seed you planted. If today your life is not what you want to stop, ask yourself why and start watching what did. You sow because what you think, sooner or later, it becomes those who you. There are three. Do not look for answers from the outside. They inside you throughout life. They inspire that the answers are the entrance somewhere there in advice of others in books of complete theories and signs that allegedly indicate to us the right path, but this is a convenient lie. Not there is a guide that is waiting your discovery or guru with the key to yours, the existence of the only person who really knows what you need something, he laughs, and that he should do it. You but look inside yourself, not so easy, not because it is impossible, and because it is the one who sits in silence and lists himself soon realizes the cruel. The truth is the reason why he is not moves forward, not in the absence of knowledge, but that he avoids actions. It is much easier to be distracted by looking for external answers, consume content which says what you already know, but others in words from an early age. We are taught to ask permission to follow the instructions, depend on the approval of other us. They program to ignore their own voice, to be afraid of instincts, to believe that someone else always knows more, so people are lost in confusion, drown in the sea. Other people's opinions while the truth is everything still inside them. The wound when they hear kilami, they did not wait for signs, did not look for signs, they did not need external approval so that someone tells them what to do. They sat in silence, analyzed reality with clarity, and acted without a doubt, without excuses. Not expecting that the world will give them permission to create a strong mind requires an outburst of external noise and trust clarity. If clarity is VM and a smaller amount of lining. Each a person deep down knows what the next step, knows what he really wants, and knows what he must make a single decision. What prevents him from moving this? The indecision causes dependence on the external answers are not in the opinions of others. They are not in books. Poles of theories are not wound in each of us in silence, in introspection, in harsh honesty with oneself. Mental power begins when you stop looking outside what always there was inside. The one who understands this stops waiting and starts to act, no doubt, without questions, without requests for you. Do not need for resolutions to life gave you signs you need. Learn them to read. People spend their life expecting something that never they come. They sit looking into the sky, are looking for each corner confirmation of a clear sign. Who will tell them that the right time for action but is really simple and cruel? Life does not send warnings, does not give confidence, does not illuminate the path. Neon lights who expect the one loses the worst, that there were signs here all this time, but not like people they expect them. Do not appear in the form of miracles or perfect coincidences. They do not come with a clear and direct message. Signs are in errors that are repeated again and again. They are in the frustration that you feel every time. Put off the decision in the emerging and missed possibilities. Night when the mind does not stop that something should change, but instead to listen to the majority chooses, ignore them to pretend that they are not. They understand that they need more. There is more time approval, because recognition of the truth means that there are no more excuses, means that they can no longer pretend that they don't know what to do. And most are not ready for this fear. This is a sign. Discomfort is a sign of stagnation. This sign is all inside everything that annoying, everything that makes feel that something is wrong with this life, screaming that something should change. But instead of people are looking for distraction, they are looking convince themselves that they need to wait the ideal moment, as if once the path will be cleansed and uncertainty disappears. Music. They didn't expect this trap confidence. They did not believe in predetermined destinies or in opportunities that were presented, and they knew that life it is rarely clear that the world music Nadova her own capabilities. The question has never been in that whether signs are they always exist. There were what separates those who moves forward from those who remain. Behind this ability to see them, the ability to accept what is obvious, but the ability to stop is uncomfortable. Ask for more clarity and start move with what already has, if the body. This is all the time tired of this sign that something's wrong. If everyday repetition of the previous one without real progress is a sign, if there is an idea, a dream, a goal that never disappears from the mind. But this sign never works, and if fear appears every time you're thinking about the change is the biggest a sign of all, because fear is not, it appears where there is comfort, it appears where there is no growth. No one will confirm the answers, what the next step, who continues to wait. External confirmation remains in place, who learns to read. Life interprets your own discomfort act even without absolute confidence. The one the signs are moving forward, not a problem. The problem is the impossibility of taking them cowardice to expect an external push when into the hearts of the souls is already clear, perfect. The moment never comes, confidence life has never come.
Oh yes.
Everyone decides to listen to it or continue. To pretend that he does not understand message word creates reality. Then what do you say to the new? Opestic excuse is not the one you are give the world and the one you repeat. You don't start to believe in it yet. Apologies do not seem to seem. 2. They seem small as the problem, harmless, almost reasonable today. Time. I do not have enough experience. I will do it's tomorrow, but these phrases are seeds, small in the beginning, invisible but with deep, and when they grow, they do not leave places for something else. The problem is not to fail, do not fall in solving. The problem is to justify an action, to convince yourself what is a good reason is not to try, because it is then that real damage occurs, when a person is not only a twig of the village that hold him in place. Each time someone is justified by him strengthens his own identity. I am not one who risks me not good enough. I don't have one good luck like others, and that at the beginning it was just a phrase. Over time it becomes music dogmata, did not feel fear or doubt. And those who decided that there will ways more what their prepositions they did not expect. The moment did not need guarantees, not they asked for permission, not because they were stronger, and because they realized that the largest trap of mind is the story. The athlete does not stop justification training because his body hurts. The warrior does not stop fighting because he, the architect, was tired of not leaving music. Than those who are looking for an excuse. See, in every obstacle to the cause to stop society nourishes the idea that everything should be fine, that the moment will come that the conditions should be ideal. But the story has never been written by those who are waiting for the perfect. Circumstances she was those quicks all they can even get approval others, but they do not build anything move the world, do not leave a trace of the one who spends. His life justifying their inaction becomes an architect. He builds invisible barriers in words that then you cannot demolish success of success without. Victims, but there is something worse than the failure to convince yourself that you could not. Try first if you sow an excuse. You will reap restriction, but if you sow determination, you will reap yourself about which you will never. I did not think the difference between those who moves forward and those who remain. Behind, not in talent, in luck, not in opportunities, are the number of excuses which they are ready to destroy. She is the past, is a real mirage. The only real tool is the past. This is a story that your mind rewrites every time you remember her. This inaccurate record is not constant truth, is not a sentence carved in stone, is a mirage illusion. It's created by memory filtered, distorted with emotions. How you choose you nevertheless. Most people go tired of the look at what was already like, as if looking back. You can do something, change what you did or not, did what you have achieved or lost. What was fair or unfair, none of this has a real weight in the present. If only you yourself are not come to him, the meaning of the past you are not stops. The fact that you are catchy gives it as an excuse for inaction. The Stoics understood this for centuries back, the only reality that matters. This is what you have directly now before my eyes. Not that was not what could be. Not like you hope that only the fact that it will come there is at this moment, because the past has already passed. And the future is not there, is the only real one. The tool is the present, and each the second you spend immersed in memories, or a second that you never return to cling to the past, is how to try to keep water. It doesn't matter how much you are compressed between them, but many people remain there, clenching the fists around that which no longer exists, refusal to admit that they cannot change. Some are tied to old victories, convinced that the best in their lives are already behind others, clutching themselves to their failures, repeating that they are not enough good because at some point they failed. But both of them do the same mistake, live in measurement, which no longer exists, the past. This mirage, because it is important, not the past, but the story that you decide to tell about. Two people can survive absolutely the same experience, but one uses it like fuel for advance forward, another like an anchor to stay behind. This is not about ignoring then what happened, and about understanding that it is not has more power than. You give him then what use as a basis, what you have done, use badly as a lesson, but not stay stuck in any of them every time. The mind pulls you to memories that you can no longer change. Ask yourself what you can do it right now to advance forward. Because thinking about the past, nothing met a mind in her indifferent between. Nemi simple learning from him and move forward, or cling to him and remain stuck. Time moves in only one direction. Life continues to move forward. The only question is whether you will be moved forward with her or stay. Look, if you want clarity, if you want real power over their life, stop betraying more weight stories about what happened and start writing the story of what you are doing now, because the only thing indeed this exists the moment is if you own your own the internal dialogue. You submit the external mew of your reality, what you think, what do you repeat to yourself, what you allow. It becomes established in your head plan for what is being built in the world if the design is weak. The structure will be weak if the design is durable. Nothing to it destroy, the majority loses the battle, even before making step, because there are not outside, inside. Music good is too hard to wait what others think. This voice destroys more lives than any external. The obstacle is not the absence, possibilities or failure, is not like the world is unfair, is internal. Self-suction, the psychological war of which many, they don't even suspect what words are leading, which you are, you say orders to your body and yours actions. If you say to yourself how loser, you will act like loser. If you say to yourself how your mind without options will stop looking for them every time you repeat the excuse, every time you confirm doubts, you strengthen peace in which you are weak, not because you weak, and because you've built this identical with each thought of the mind. Not distinguishes what he says out of habit, and the fact that he says seriously, if every one day you repeat in your head that you or not you can do not cost something, it is impossible he will accept it as a truth. And the worst is that this idea will not die in your head, will be reflected in every decision, in every attitude. As you go to the energy that you emit and how you solve problems, but the same. The most thing happens, and vice versa, if you will begin to form your internal dialogue with force, if you stop near a weak voice, if you replace every amazing one via. And your life will be reflected. This speech is not. It is about lying to himself. It's about empty phrases of motivation. We are talking about training of the mind to work for you and not against you when it will collide music. This does not mean ignoring reality. This means setting yourself up to the answer by force and not with the defeat. The difference between those who achieve something great and those who spends life in desires not in intellect is not in talent, not in resources. This is the control that they have over with their thoughts. Some allow doubt, fear, and uncertainty to dictate your fate. Others choose to program your mind to move forward. Regardless of what is happening, if you say you will become weak as a weak, if you become weak if you say to yourself as a person who there is no other choice but to go forward, you will move forward the mind, this tool. But like any tool, it can be used for construction. Or for destruction is one who does not control there. The internal dialogue does not control anything, but the one who owns his mind forms your world is in your image and music likeness if you have not found peace in yourself. This is a reflection of what you wear inside. If your mind chaos, the world is chaos. If you live in the war with you, you will see the war everywhere. Does not matter how fast you are run, how distracted by how much trying to avoid this that you are not. I decided inside myself sooner or later most people will catch up with you, your life in search of peace in the wrong places. They think that they will find him when reach the goal, when they have money, when they will be with the right person, when everything becomes easier. They say to themselves that the world is what comes from outside, that it depends on the circumstances, but the world is not in the fact that you have and what you have achieved, or that the world surrounds you as solution, and if you inside the Seb, you will not find him anywhere. People who have a son, and they live there, are others in constant conflict, which went through hell, and nevertheless found calm among chaos. The difference between them, not in their conditions, but an attitude to yourself. If your mind is a field, the battle of Decea is all tunity. Peace does not mean to come to terms with yourself, does not mean to give up, does not mean accepting mediocre. Life means stopping. Punish yourself for the fact that you cannot change too. Stop dragging severity the past. Stop living with endless a list of reasons for which you never not good enough. You cannot move forward if you continue to be. Cook to the version of oneself that no longer there is a leg. Take others in the adoption of the world which will never be completely on the side they try to fit, accepted to prove something to people who do not even think about them. But the world is not in that to be understood. He is to understand yourself. The problem is that a clash with it is not easier to blame your own mind. Talk to me with entertainment and fleeting pleasures and external noise, but the real world is not avoiding the internal conflict he located. Overcoming it, he is when you decide to look at yourself without fear, without masks, without self-deception. The reality is such that most people know more things, do not need more recognition, does not need the world to change, they need silence. They need to learn not looking for a way out, they need let go of everything that kept them in the same cycle, because no one who is in the world does not feel with him. The inner world is not lost in the world means a lack of fear does not mean lack of doubt, does not mean the elimination of all negative thoughts as means to learn to be calm. Despite all this means accepting that there will always be noise, it's always chaos, there will always be difficulties, but nothing of this cannot get you out of balance. If you've really worked on him building, if your mind in the war is everything, it will seem to be a battle around you. If your mind is calm, even in the middle of the storm, you can see clearly everything you are looking for outside. Everything you think you need to feel in the world already, you just have to decide inside you. You will never see this world. There will always be completely peaceful problems. There will always be injustice. Always there will be noise, but you do Not need the world change to find calm. The only real world is the one which you build inside yourself. If there is nothing you can destroy, if there is nothing from the outside, we'll be able to give it to you. Do not look for peace in the world if you have not found the world in yourself, because what you wear inside is the only thing you really can control. Thanks for watching video to the end. If you watched everything, write in the comments, "I am Stoic," as our secret sign so that we know that you, the infusion of accounting Stoicism. Do not forget, subscribe and like you if I liked the video. See you next video, and remember to continue to develop your own.